Based on the historical data and forecast, Bitcoin exhibits an overall upward trend, with support consistently around $112,500 and resistance at $117,300. The RSI fluctuates but generally remains within a range, indicating neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show a narrowing trend, suggesting a potential breakout. Combining these indicators, I recommend a long position strategy. We will initiate a long position at $112,800, coinciding with the first day of the forecast period. A stop-loss order will be placed at $107,800, slightly below the lower Bollinger Band, to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be $115,600, aligning with the forecasted price for September 13, 2025, and the upper Bollinger Band. To further optimize this strategy, we will incorporate dynamic adjustments based on the RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the RSI reaches 80, indicating an overbought condition, we will consider taking partial profits. Conversely, if the RSI falls below 20, signaling an oversold condition, we will reevaluate the position and potentially lower the stop-loss. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, we will raise the target price to $116,800, reflecting the upward momentum. This adaptive approach, combined with the initial entry, stop-loss, and target prices, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ethereum shows a slight upward trend with support at 4270 and resistance at 4780. The RSI fluctuates around 50, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest periods of volatility, with the price occasionally touching the upper or lower bands. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy utilizing RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns. Initially, we will observe the price action on September 11, 2025, when the forecast price is $4,360. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band of $4,810, we will enter a long position at $4,360 with a stop-loss order at $4,270, just below the support level. Our target price will be $4,780, the resistance level, aiming for a substantial gain. To further refine the strategy, we'll incorporate RSI signals. If the RSI drops below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we'll enter a long position at $4,360 with a stop-loss at $4,270. Conversely, if the RSI exceeds 80, signaling an overbought condition, we will avoid entering a position. If the price reaches the target price of $4,780, we will take profit. This combined approach leverages both volatility indicators and momentum signals to identify high-probability trading opportunities, maximizing returns while minimizing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, XRP shows a slight upward trend with support at $2.76 and resistance at $3.08. The RSI indicator fluctuates between 39.4 and 53.6, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands suggest that the price has been consolidating within a range, with the middle band consistently around $2.9. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy focusing on short-term gains and risk mitigation. We will implement a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Bands, with a slight adjustment to account for the upward trend. The strategy involves entering long positions when the RSI dips below 40 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Specifically, we will enter a long position at $2.92, setting a stop-loss at $2.76 to protect against downside risk. The initial target price will be $3.02, aligning with the forecast and recent resistance levels. If the price reaches $3.02, we will move the stop-loss to break-even, $2.92, and consider extending the target price to $3.08, the resistance level. This approach balances the potential for gains with a conservative risk management approach, leveraging both technical indicators to improve decision-making. Based on the historical data and forecast, BNB exhibits a clear uptrend. The price has been generally increasing over the past 2 weeks, and the forecast for the next week projects further gains. The RSI consistently fluctuates around the 50 to 60 range, indicating neither extreme overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increased volatility and potential for price movement. Given the upward trend and positive forecast, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $887, placing a stop-loss order at $880 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $898, aiming to capture a significant portion of the projected upward movement. To refine this strategy, we'll incorporate RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI dips below 20, indicating an oversold condition, we'll consider accumulating more positions at $887. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 80 or above, suggesting an overbought condition, we'll partially take profits at $898. The Bollinger Bands also provide valuable insights. If the price touches the lower band, it may signal a potential buying opportunity. If the price touches the upper band, it may signal a potential selling opportunity. We will adjust the target price to $919 if the forecast continues to be positive and the price breaks above $900. This dynamic approach combines trend following with technical indicators for enhanced risk management and return optimization. Based on the historical data and forecast, Solana shows a clear uptrend. The price has consistently been bouncing off the support level of $211 and moving towards the resistance of $257. The RSI is currently at 64.1, indicating slightly overbought conditions, but the forecast projects a continued upward movement, reaching $240 by September 17, 2025. Therefore, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $221, placing a stop-loss order at $217 to limit potential losses. The initial target price will be $228, aligning with the forecasted price for September 13, 2025. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. When the price touches the lower band, it signals a potential buying opportunity due to an oversold condition. However, given the current RSI and forecast, we'll maintain the long position initiated at $221 with a stop-loss at $217. If the price reaches $228, we'll move the stop-loss to the center of the Bollinger Bands, which is around $205, to protect profits. The ultimate target price will be $240, based on the forecast, offering a substantial return. This combined approach leverages both RSI and Bollinger Bands for a robust and adaptive investment strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, Dogecoin shows a clear upward trend. The price has been consistently making higher highs and higher lows, supported by the recent break above the 0.242 resistance level. The RSI has moved above 50, indicating increasing bullish momentum, and while it briefly entered overbought territory, it has since retreated, suggesting a potential for further upside. The Bollinger Bands are widening, confirming the increased volatility and trend strength. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $0.235. A stop-loss should be placed just below the support level at $0.232 to limit potential losses if the trend reverses. For the target price, I suggest $0.254, aligning with the forecast for September 17, 2025. This target considers the upward trend, RSI readings, and the expansion of the Bollinger Bands. We will implement a strategy that combines RSI and Bollinger Bands. When the RSI falls below 20, we buy. When the RSI reaches 80, we sell. The forecast price suggests a continued upward trajectory, making this a high potential opportunity. The portfolio will prioritize the long position, allocating 70% of capital, with the remaining 30% held in reserve to capitalize on potential pullbacks or shifts in market conditions. Based on the historical data and forecast, Cardano shows an upward trend. The price has been consistently approaching the resistance level of $0.931, and the forecast predicts further increases to $0.924. The RSI has fluctuated between 44.1 and 57.1, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. Given the current RSI of 57.1, the asset is approaching overbought territory. The Bollinger Bands suggest that the price is trending upwards, with the center band consistently above the lower band. To capitalize on this trend, I recommend a long position strategy. The entry price should be $0.865, coinciding with a recent price action. The stop loss should be set at $0.838, just above the support level, to limit potential losses. The initial target price should be $0.886, aligning with the first forecast price. If the price reaches $0.886, consider moving the stop loss to the entry price of $0.865 to protect profits. A second target price can be set at $0.898, based on the forecast, and a final target price of $0.909 to secure further gains. This strategy combines trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns while managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, TRON shows a slight upward trend, bouncing around the support price of $0.335. The RSI has fluctuated between 32.3 and 50.6, indicating periods of oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a potential breakout. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position when the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition. The entry price will be $0.315. A stop loss will be placed just below the support level at $0.310 to protect against potential downside risk. The initial target price will be the recent resistance level at $0.341, offering a reasonable profit margin. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate the Bollinger Bands. If the price breaks above the upper band, indicating a strong upward momentum, we will move the target price to $0.344, aligning with the forecast for September 17, 2025. Conversely, if the price falls below the lower band and triggers the stop loss at $0.310, we will exit the position. This combined RSI and Bollinger Bands approach aims to capitalize on short-term price movements while mitigating risk. The portfolio will allocate 60% of the capital to this strategy, with the remaining 40% allocated to a more conservative, diversified portfolio. Based on the historical data and forecast, Chainlink shows a slight upward trend. The price has been fluctuating within the support of $23.4 and the resistance of $25.9. The RSI values have mostly remained below 80, indicating that the asset is not consistently overbought. However, the recent RSI values are trending upwards, suggesting increasing buying pressure. Considering the forecast data, the price is expected to continue its upward trajectory, potentially reaching $24.5 by September 17, 2025. Therefore, I recommend a long position. My strategy is to enter a long position at $23.6. The stop loss should be set slightly below the support level at $23.3 to mitigate potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price is $24.3, aligning with the center of the Bollinger Bands and a reasonable profit target. If the price breaks through the $24.3 level, I will adjust the stop loss to $24 and set a new target price of $24.5, based on the forecast. This approach combines RSI and Bollinger Band signals to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wrapped Beacon ETH shows a slight upward trend despite recent volatility. The price has consistently found support around $4,600, and the forecast suggests a continuation of this upward momentum, reaching $4,770 by September 17, 2025. The RSI fluctuating between 48.9 and 56.3 indicates that the asset is neither significantly overbought nor oversold. Considering the Bollinger Bands, the price has been oscillating within the bands, suggesting moderate volatility. Therefore, I recommend a moderately bullish strategy. We will implement a three-pronged approach combining RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels. Firstly, enter a long position at $4,690, coinciding with the first forecast price and near the support level. Set a stop loss at $4,630, just below the recent support and a recent low. For the target price, aim for $4,740, aligning with the forecast and a potential resistance level. This strategy capitalizes on the anticipated upward trend while mitigating risk with a conservative stop-loss. The portfolio will allocate 60% to this strategy, 20% to a conservative strategy focusing on RSI oversold conditions, and 20% to a Bollinger Bands breakout strategy. Based on the historical data and forecast, Sui shows an overall upward trend with recent price fluctuations. The RSI consistently stays above 40, indicating a neutral to slightly bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of consolidation before a potential breakout. Considering the support price of $3.34 and the resistance price of $3.72, and the forecast prices, I recommend a long position. We will enter a long position at $3.46. The stop loss will be set just below the support level at $3.34 to mitigate potential losses if the price declines. The initial target price will be the resistance level of $3.72, aiming for a significant profit. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate the RSI and Bollinger Band signals. If the RSI falls below 30, indicating an oversold condition, we will consider averaging down our position. Conversely, if the RSI reaches 80, suggesting an overbought condition, we will consider taking partial profits. If the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Band, it signals a strong bullish momentum, and we will raise our target price to $3.76. If the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, it signals a potential buying opportunity, and we will consider adding to our position. This combined approach, incorporating trend analysis, support and resistance levels, and technical indicators, aims to maximize returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Raydium has shown a slight upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently fluctuates around the 50 mark, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been narrowing recently, suggesting a period of low volatility followed by a potential breakout. Given the forecast prices, which predict a gradual increase, a strategy combining RSI and Bollinger Bands is recommended. We will implement a long position when the RSI dips below 50 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, aiming to capitalize on potential upward momentum. Specifically, we will enter a long position at $3.21 when the RSI falls below 50 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band, which is $3.07. Our stop loss will be set at $3.11 to limit potential losses if the price reverses. The initial target price will be $3.47, aligning with recent resistance levels and the forecast price of $3.5. If the price reaches $3.47, we will adjust our stop loss to the entry price of $3.21 to secure profits and potentially ride further upward momentum. This combined strategy leverages both momentum and volatility indicators to maximize potential returns while managing risk effectively. Based on the historical data and forecast, Conflux exhibits a downtrend with significant volatility. The price has consistently tested the support level of $0.17, and the RSI fluctuates around the mid-range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands show considerable expansion, suggesting increased price swings. Considering the forecast, the price is expected to remain around $0.17 for the next week. Therefore, I propose a cautious short-term strategy focused on capitalizing on potential minor upward bounces while mitigating downside risk. I recommend initiating a long position at $0.176. The stop loss should be set at $0.172, just below the recent support and the center of the Bollinger Bands. The initial target price is $0.179, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and a potential resistance level. If the price reaches $0.179, consider taking partial profits and moving the stop loss to the entry price of $0.176 to secure gains and protect against a potential reversal. This strategy combines RSI, Bollinger Bands, and support/resistance levels to maximize efficiency and minimize risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ether.fi shows an upward trend with increasing RSI values and price fluctuations within the Bollinger Bands. The RSI is currently above 50, indicating a bullish momentum. The forecast for the next week projects a continued upward trajectory, with prices reaching $1.36. Given the current price of $1.3, I recommend a long position with an entry price of $1.23. To manage risk, set a stop-loss order at $1.16, just below the bottom Bollinger Band. For the target price, aim for $1.36, aligning with the forecast high and resistance level. To refine this strategy, we will incorporate RSI signals. When the RSI dips below 30, oversold, initiate a long position at the support price of $1.23. Place a stop-loss order at $1.16, and set a target price at $1.36. Conversely, when the RSI exceeds 70, overbought, consider a short position, but with the current upward trend, this is not recommended. This combined approach, leveraging both Bollinger Bands and RSI, should yield high returns while effectively managing risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Pyth network shows a downtrend with increasing volatility. The RSI consistently hovers above 50, nearing overbought territory, suggesting a potential pullback is imminent. The Bollinger Bands are widening, indicating increased price fluctuation. Given the recent price action and the forecast for September 11th to 17th, a short selling strategy is recommended. We will enter a short position at $0.183, placing a stop-loss order at $0.185 to limit potential losses if the price unexpectedly rises. The initial target price will be $0.176, aligning with the forecast and a conservative profit margin. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate dynamic adjustments based on the RSI and Bollinger Bands. If the RSI dips below 70, indicating a potential oversold condition, we will consider covering the short position or moving the stop-loss lower. Conversely, if the price touches the upper Bollinger Band, we'll tighten the stop-loss to protect profits. We will set a secondary target price at $0.179, aiming to capitalize on further downward momentum. This adaptive approach combines the initial short selling position with risk management techniques, maximizing potential returns while minimizing downside exposure. Based on the historical data and forecast, Lido DAO shows a fluctuating trend with a clear support level at $1.16. The RSI values have mostly stayed within the 40 to 60 range, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening recently, suggesting increased volatility. Considering these factors, a combined strategy is recommended. First, when the price touches the support level of $1.16, enter a long position. Set a stop-loss at $1.14 to protect against potential downside breaks. The initial target price should be $1.27, aligning with the recent forecast price. To capitalize on the volatility indicated by the Bollinger Bands, implement a secondary strategy. When the price touches the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, which is $1.02, enter a long position. Set a stop-loss at $1.01. The target price should be $1.27. Combining these two strategies provides a robust approach. The first strategy focuses on the support level and forecast, while the second strategy leverages the increased volatility indicated by the Bollinger Bands. This blended approach aims to maximize potential returns while mitigating risk. Based on the historical data and forecast, Litecoin shows a slight upward trend with periods of consolidation. The RSI consistently remains above 40, indicating neither strong overbought nor oversold conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been contracting recently, suggesting a period of low volatility, and the forecast predicts a continuation of this trend, with prices hovering around $113 to $116. Considering the support level at $111 and the resistance at $122, I propose a moderately bullish strategy. We will initiate a long position when the RSI dips below 45 and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. Specifically, we will enter a long position at $113. The stop-loss will be set just below the support level at $110 to protect against a potential downturn. Our target price will be the resistance level at $122, aiming for a substantial profit. This strategy combines RSI and Bollinger Bands to identify optimal entry points during periods of consolidation, maximizing potential returns while minimizing risk. The forecast data reinforces the likelihood of a price increase, making this a favorable opportunity for a well-timed investment. Based on the historical data and forecast, Ondo exhibits a clear upward trend, particularly evident in the recent price surge and the projected prices for the next week. The RSI consistently fluctuating around the 50 mark suggests that the asset isn't currently overbought or oversold, but with the recent climb to 60.3, we should be cautious. The Bollinger Bands are narrowing, indicating a period of consolidation before a potential breakout. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter a long position at $0.976, placing a stop-loss order at $0.956 to protect against a potential reversal. The initial target price will be $1.03, aligning with the upper Bollinger Band and a reasonable profit target based on the recent price action. To refine the strategy, we'll incorporate a trailing stop-loss. Once the price reaches $1.03, we'll move the stop-loss to $0.99, near the support level. This allows us to capture further gains if the upward trend continues. If the forecast price reaches $1.06, we'll increase the target price to $1.06. If the forecast price reaches $1.09, we'll increase the target price to $1.09. This dynamic approach adapts to the market's momentum, maximizing potential returns while mitigating risk. This strategy combines technical indicators with support and resistance levels for a robust and adaptive investment approach. Based on the historical data and forecast, Wormhole demonstrates a generally upward trend with recent volatility. The RSI fluctuates between 44.5 and 63.0, indicating periods of both oversold and overbought conditions. The Bollinger Bands have been widening, suggesting increased market volatility. Considering these factors, I propose a combined strategy leveraging RSI and Bollinger Bands to maximize potential returns. We will initiate a long position when the RSI falls below 20, indicating an oversold condition, and the price touches the lower Bollinger Band. The entry price will be $0.0695. The stop-loss will be set just below the lower Bollinger Band at $0.068 to mitigate potential losses. The initial target price will be the center of the Bollinger Band, $0.0796. To further capitalize on the upward trend, we will implement a trailing stop-loss strategy. As the price increases, the stop-loss will be adjusted to maintain a buffer of $0.002 below the price. When the RSI reaches 80, indicating an overbought condition, we will take partial profits, securing 50% of the position at $0.0951. The remaining position will continue with the trailing stop-loss until the price reaches the resistance level of $0.0959, where we will exit the remaining position. This strategy combines the benefits of momentum trading with risk management, aiming for high returns while protecting against significant losses. The predicted price movement based on the Bollinger Bands is upward, aligning with the overall trend. Based on the historical data and forecast, Avalanche shows a clear upward trend. The price has consistently been climbing, and the forecast for the next week indicates continued growth, potentially reaching $30.2. The RSI values have been trending upward, with recent readings above 50, suggesting bullish momentum. The Bollinger Bands are also expanding, indicating increased volatility and potential for further price movement. Considering these factors, I recommend a long position strategy. We will enter the market at $26.7, placing a stop-loss order at $26.4 to protect against a potential downside reversal. The initial target price will be $28.2, coinciding with the forecast price for September 13, 2025. To maximize potential returns, we will implement a dynamic target price strategy. As the price approaches $28.2, we will reevaluate the market conditions and adjust the target price accordingly. If the upward trend continues, we can move the target price to $29 and subsequently to $30.2. This approach allows us to capitalize on the ongoing bullish momentum while mitigating risk. The RSI readings suggest that the asset is not yet in overbought territory, providing further support for a continued long position. This portfolio will be the most efficient because it combines the trend analysis, RSI signals, and Bollinger Bands to optimize the investment strategy.